Welcome to your video guide to travel healthcare. My name is Kay from Travel Nursing Newbies, and today we are going to be discussing making the trip and how to plan for emergencies along the road. So come on and join us. Travel healthcare just got easier.
Atlas MedStaff. Certified veteran owned. Joint Commission certified. The fastest growing staffing company in the country. The industry leader in online content and information about travel nursing, where you belong. The Atlas Life. Visit our website at atlasmedstaff.com or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/atlasmedstaffmedia for more information.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to get ready to get on the road. A big thing, and it's kind of funny. I'm really not a good person to talk about what I pack. We started out in we packed everything in my Mustang convertible and our Ford Ranger, and went to our first assignment. Whenever I stopped traveling for a while in 2010, after 7 years of traveling, we had a 7 by 14 foot cargo trailer that we were pulling behind the truck. So needless to say, I have learned though how to minimize a little bit, even though I'm not too good at it myself. This is what I've come to realize that this is what I really need to do, and I hope that you'll do it, at least to the best that you can. For clothes, what do you pack for clothes? Of course, you need your uniforms. If you're a nurse who works the regular 3 12-hour shifts a week, then you need at least 3 uniforms. If you have a fourth one, then yes, the fourth one would be great to take along with you. Be sure that if the hospital has any certain colors. I had one hospital system that wanted us to have Navy uniforms. Navy is a color that is most used by hospitals, but I've actually had some hospitals that want to go back to the good old days and want you to wear white. And other ones maybe use seal blue or a green. Be sure to if there's a specific color for your hospital or your unit. Make sure that you have a good pair of comfortable shoes for work and for play. And then if you're close to the beach, you make sure you have some good sandals. And if you love to hike, you may need some hiking boots. I try to fit all of my bedroom stuff, my clothes, into one suitcase to put in the car whenever we're traveling by car. If you have a bigger vehicle, then you can take more clothes, but make sure that you just have the basics. If there's something that you need, you can always run down to the thrift shop to get up what you need. If you need a coat and you forgot your coat and because you live in California and you're going to Nebraska, it's not the end of the world. There's thrift shops that you can go to and that are in an economical way to find stuff that you have forgotten. Of course, you need your personal care items, your hair dryer, your toothbrush. I wouldn't go too crazy on packing toiletries. Yes, you need your personal things, but there's also places where you can get that stuff once you get to your assignment at like Family Dollar. That is very economical. So just realize that there are sources out there, your thrift shops, your Family Dollars, that you don't have to take everything with you if you don't want to, that you can go and purchase them very economically. Bring all your electronics. Don't forget your tablet, your Kindle. Oh my goodness. I have a Kindle, I have a tablet, I have my laptop, my husband has a desktop. Make sure you have all the power cords to all of them. Make sure you have the right power cord. I have 3 different, we're talking just the other day, I have 3 different electronics, and they all 3 take a different type of cord to plug in. Make sure that you have all your medications. Make sure whenever you go to your doctor to get a physician statement, make sure you also get all your prescriptions refilled for the next 3 months or even 6 months. Make sure that you have all your paperwork with you. You need to carry a copy of your contract with you. You need a carry a copy of your driver's license, passport, important stuff like that. Even maybe your birth certificate. You need copies of your nursing school and records if you can get them, and your credentials. Make sure you have a credit card for little incidentals that come up along the road also. I personally believe in using the debit card instead of a credit card, but you need some way to get things that are incidental along the road. It's just a smart thing to do. Your kitchen appliances, you want to make sure what is supplied. If you have housing, do you have a corporate housing? What kitchen appliances do they have? You might take your tea kettle or your toaster, and you're always got to have your slow cooker or your Instapot. Pots and pans, do you have your favorite pan? Those copper pans. I have to take mine with me. What utensils do you want? You can even buy plastic paper cups and utensils if you want. Once you get to your assignment, you don't have to take those with you. But I personally take a set just for my husband and I. That's all you need is enough for you to wash and reuse on a daily basis. You need a handy little smoothie maker, because that is the new thing for nowadays is to make your smoothies in the morning before you go to work. It all depends on your cooking preferences. Your kitchen appliances, I like to have all mine in one blue box, so that you've got a limited amount of supplies there, but yet you have what you need from your kit. Oh, and don't forget your pot holders and your favorite knives. If you're traveling items that you might need, if you're flying on an airplane, you might want a neck pillow or a headphones that are noise canceling. I could have used a set of them on the airplane. Cutest little 4-year-old, but just on the phone on this last plane trip I took. But he was cute. You just had to love him. But I could have used noise canceling headphones on that one. If you're in a car, consider a good quality travel mug. Hang out at the conferences. You go to these conferences and you'll get all kinds of travel mugs and water bottles and things to put snacks in. And my favorite latest little gadget is a salad container. It's a cup that you can put your salad in, and it has a space on top to where you can put your dressing in. That's another wonderful, great thing to take. Take some of your comforts from home. Take pictures that you want of your kids, grandkids. It helps you to still have your family there. Take your favorite knickknacks, or your candles, or I know people who travel with their craft stuff, with their sewing machine, with their paintings. Scrapbooking is a big thing to do when you're a travel nurse. I also have a box full of bed and bath items. A good thing to take along is a bed and a bag. Then you need a couple of your bath towels and hand towels, washcloths, just a couple of bath items. But remember, if you don't have those, then the dollar store does. You can always go get some fairly economical at the 5 and dime. I was watching the Christmas special this morning because we're taping this in December, and they have NFL throws for sale now. So your favorite little comfy throw is another great thing to have. On household items, you might need a basic tool set. You never know what's gonna happen with rental furniture. If you have a rental furniture, or if you're renting a room, just a little bitty basic tool set is nice to have, along with a broom and dustpan. I personally have to carry my office with me. I have a little desk that I take with me. What you pack for your travel assignment really is, dependent on what your needs are. Hopefully this list will give you some ideas on what you need to put on your list. Make your own list, have fun with it. I personally travel in an RV, and I have an app on my phone that has a list of things that I need to take in my RV that is customizable. So that's another great thing to look at, is you can go to Google Play or the Apple Store and download a checklist that you can customize for yourself. I hope this list gives you some ideas on what to include in that list. Next, I want to talk about emergencies along the road. And in case of a medical emergency, we are taught to dial 911. But when you're hundreds of miles away from home, what do? You need to be prepared for an emergency. Always let somebody know where you are going and what route you are taking. And I personally have someone to call along the way. Usually I call still, I know I'm over 50, but I still call my mommy on the way to my assignment, so that way somebody knows where I'm at. You know, in case of an emergency, you also need to be well planned. Have your car, your truck, have stuff in there that can help you out, like a blanket, an extra flashlight, first aid kit. I have a trauma kit in the back of my car in case I need it also, because I've come upon several wrecks while traveling to nursing assignments. Make sure that you have a good insurance policy that has roadside service. Another thing is AAA. If you have an RV, Good Sam's Emergency Road Service is good. And then OnStar is another great app to have. And look at your, I know I mentioned a little bit, your insurance policies usually have a roadside assistance number that you can call. Other phone numbers that you need to have is your recruiter's number. You might need your bank's number and your car agent's phone number. One good thing about travel nursing is that after you've been doing it for a while, you have a network of friends all across the United States. I know one travel nurse who traveled all the way from East Coast to West Coast and never paid for a hotel room because she stayed with friends that she had along the way. That is a possibility. I wouldn't, make sure that you know the person well before you try that, but that is a great possibility. Another great thing to do is along the way to find somebody that you can have supper with. Contact through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Find travelers that are in that area that you're going through and have supper with them. That's another great thing to break up the monotony of the road. Another thing that we need to talk about is how much money do you need to get from point A to point B. You can look up through several apps how much your gas is going to cost you to get from point A to point B. Make sure that you know how many meals that you're going to have along the way, how many hotels, so that way you have enough money in your bank, preferably in your bank, to get you from point A to point B. Because although your travel company is going to reimburse you, that reimbursement is not going to come until after you've worked a week, and then they have a week to process your paycheck. If nothing else, make sure you have an ATM card with your PIN number. Make sure you know your PIN number. And credit cards, I personally have one credit card that I use for travel, and that's it. But make sure you have some kind of financial means to get you from point A to point B, because the chances of the company helping you are very slim. They're going to reimburse you, but you're not going to get that reimbursement for up to 2 weeks after you start your assignment. Another thing that's very important is to make sure that your car is mechanically sound to get you from point A to point B. There's nothing more frustrating than having, oh my goodness, we were in Florida and we blew the engine in the Mustang. It was, it was just devastating that we spent 2 days in Florida trying to figure out what to do with this Mustang. Make sure that you have your car ready to go and that your car can make the trip. Another thing is to make sure you have a good map. I know we have Google Maps and all that good stuff, but personally I have a little bitty Rand McNally that I carry with me. That way, for sure, if I don't have internet access or something or can't get to my phone, then I have a backup map on paper. They do make maps on paper still. Make sure you have one of those with you in case your electronics don't work. Another important thing to remember is that your gas tank is not infinite. Watch your gas gauge whenever I'm traveling along, especially out here in the west. There, you won't see a gas station for miles and miles and miles. I always start looking for a gas station about at the halfway mark, and that way by the time I get to a quarter mark, then I have a place to go to get gas. It's no fun sitting on the side of the road with a truck and a trailer, freezing your bum off, waiting for the tow truck. So watch your gas gauge. And I know that sounds simple, but you'd be amazed at some people who you get caught up in the trip and the scenery and forget about your gas. So don't forget about that gas gauge. You know, if you're a female traveling alone, it's highly recommended that you have an RV. With an RV, you can go to bed at night in the back and nobody knows that you're by yourself. Always gas up during the daytime. And then it's just, you know, we want you to be safe out there. I know a lot of women who do travel at night, and usually their RV is secured by Smith & Wesson. Be sure, if you're going to insure your RV with Smith & Wesson, that you look up the different state laws. You know, another personal safety item to keep in your vehicle is a large flashlight. It not only provides light for you, but it can be used as a weapon. Another amazing thing is they have these new keychain lights that have some kind of a super ultraviolet light that can actually blind the person if you get into a sticky situation. You know, another great tip is to carry in your glove compartment a little device that will break your windows. You never know whenever you're going to end up in a canal. You know, I know that sounds kind of way out there, but it can happen. You can. There are plenty of lakes that you can run off into. You know, you can just be in a ditch and you can't get your window open. Make sure you have a way to get that window open. And last but not least, make sure that you have a spare tire. And it is very important to make sure that spare tire has air in it. Yeah, you won't be too happy if you're on the interstate and get out your spare tire only to find out that it has no air in it. By using these tips and tricks, I know some of them are super simple, but it's important that you remember the simple things: to carry a flashlight, carry a tire gauge. Oh my goodness, I forgot my tire gauge one time and it drove me absolutely nuts. Be prepared for an emergency, because there's no way that you're going to be traveling for years and not have an emergency along the road. Be prepared, and so that you don't panic, you can stay in control in case of an emergency. All right, guys, see you out on the road. Bye now.